Okay, let's talk about something that had the internet low-key losing its mind for a minute. Pretty Woman 2. You probably saw that poster with Julia Roberts and Richard Gere, right? For a second, it really felt like the fairy tale was getting a sequel. I mean, the poster looked legit, but plot twist, it wasn't real. Still, don't click away just yet, because what happened next is actually pretty interesting. That viral poster might have been fan-made, but the attention it got, that wasn't fake. And if there's one thing we know about Hollywood, it's that when the internet gets loud, studios start listening. So, let's rewind. Out of nowhere, this slick-looking poster drops on social platforms, teasing a Netflix sequel to Pretty Woman. The title, A Second Chance, got people immediately in their feelings. People were excited, like really excited. The original Pretty Woman wasn't just another rom-com. When it dropped in 1990, it became one of the highest-grossing romantic comedies of all time, and thanks to streaming, it's found a whole new audience. Teenagers and 20-somethings are discovering Vivian and Edward all over again. There's a generation who never saw it in theaters, but now have it on their favorites list. That's powerful. Now here's the million-dollar question. Would Julia Roberts and Richard Gere actually do it? Let's talk about Richard first. For years, he was kind of against the idea. He even said he didn't fully understand why the movie had such a lasting impact. In one interview, he bluntly said, "It's about a hooker. Why are kids watching this?" But more recently, during a public Q&A for his 2024 film Oh Canada, he said he'd consider it if the script was good. That's a big shift. It's not a no, it's a maybe, and that's enough to keep the dream alive. Julia, on the other hand, she's clearly more open. In an interview from last December, she even joked about what Vivian might be up to now. In her words, Edward probably passed away peacefully in his sleep with a smile on his face. And now Vivian runs his empire, like full boss lady energy. Tell me that wouldn't be an amazing storyline. So let's imagine for a second, if Pretty Woman 2 really was happening, what would that story even look like? Picture this. It's been 30+ years. Vivian's no longer on Rodeo Drive. She's in the boardrooms. She's mentoring young women who face the same challenges she did. Maybe she's funding a nonprofit. Maybe she's running Edward's business. Maybe she's done both. Edward? Maybe he appears in flashbacks. Or maybe if Richard signs on, they're dealing with a new chapter in their relationship. Something more grounded. Less fairy tale, more real life. It could explore how love evolves, how people change, and what happily ever after looks like when you're older, wiser, and maybe a little more complicated. Now, if Julia and Richard decide to pass, there's still another route, a musical adaptation. Pretty Woman. The musical has been touring since 2018 and has done surprisingly well. And let's be honest, we've seen Broadway to film projects work. Mean Girls pulled it off. Why not Pretty Woman? A musical film would give the story a fresh spin, maybe with a new cast, while still honoring the heart of the original. It would be a modern reintroduction for younger audiences and a nostalgia trip for longtime fans. So, best case scenario? If a studio sees the potential, finds a great script, and convinces Julia and Richard to reunite, we could be looking at a release in 2026 or 2027. It's not impossible, it just needs the right spark. So, here we are. No, Pretty Woman 2 isn't officially happening. Yet. But the buzz, the interest, that's very real. Julia's not ruling it out. Richard's warming up to the idea, and fans are clearly ready to return to that world. What do you think? Would you watch a sequel? Should they bring back the original cast, or go the musical route with a fresh spin? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and while you're here, go ahead and like this video, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss what's next.